It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Bad Seed Brewing Company. But it's not just Bad Seed Brewing Company this time. This is a collaboration beer with Why Not Brewing. And it's their Kope Niu. Kope Niu. Kope Niu, that's it. Imperial Stout with coffee and coconut. It's 11.5% ABV. It's in a 330 milliliter can. Kope Niu. It's got to be new, haven't it? It sounds delightful, this beer. Sounds absolutely delightful. Without further ado, let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Oh my goodness me, look at this. Look at this. So we have a one finger tan coloured head. It's a jet black beer in the glass. It really is. Jet black beer in the glass. Have a look at this beer as I rock it back and forth. Look at the carbonation chasing that head up the glass. As you all know, I say as you all know, you might be tuning into this for the first time. I've been reviewing a lot of beer recently from Bad Seed Brewing Company. For me, the best brewery to come out of Denmark. They just produce everything they seem to touch is superb. It's real top quality beer. And you can see why. Look at this one for argument's sake. It's jet black in the glass. Good carbonation. Oh, good head on it. Looks like engine oil. 11.5% ABV. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. Wow. Wow. Loads of roasted malt, which is important to me. When I stick my nose into an Imperial Stout, I kind of expect roasted malt. And you get it here. You get that kind of real toastiness, that biscuitiness, that bitter dark chocolate, that coffee, a little bit of sweet caramel. But you're also getting a load of coconut. A load of coconut and vanilla in the aroma. And that is just brilliant. That for me is just a brilliant aroma. Roasty, toasty, toasted coconut. Yeah, it smells amazing. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh. First and foremost, I mean, I've never put engine oil in my mouth, don't get me wrong. I've never used engine oil in my mouth. But if I did, it would feel like this, I'm pretty sure. If you're old enough to remember changing the oil in your car, you know, when you were young and skint, and we used to do that type of thing years ago. You'd change the oil, wouldn't you? You'd get a big blooming, or my dad used to. I've never changed the oil in a car. I let it all burn away and put some new stuff in. But I always remember my dad, he'd always buy kind of like relatively new cars though, and he'd want to look after it. He'd put like a bucket underneath the car, and he'd get underneath and he'd undo this bolt and all the oil, and of course it would like gloop and drop, and it probably had iron filings in it, and you know, it was just used, it was gloopy and dripping and, you know, very much looking like this. But the mouthfeel on this beer is so viscous, rich, decadent, thick, used engine oil like. And then you get coconut. And the beauty of this beer is that you get the coconut first. Normally with a beer with loads of roasted malt like this, the roasted malt is normally the dominating factor of a beer. You get that bitter dark chocolate, you get that bitter coffee flavour, you get that little bit of sweet caramel. You're getting all of that, you are. But you're just about to start thinking about the roasted malt flavours, and then you're like, it's almost like a little slap in the face. It's like you weren't expecting it. It's like, I don't know, you're off guard a little bit and someone clips you around the ear hole, and it's that little clip around the ear hole which is the coconut. That little coconut flavour just comes from nowhere and gives you a little clip, and that's quite an exciting flavour for me. That's quite an exciting, because you're about to go, there's the roasted malt, and it's like a little quick, psh, don't see it coming. Coconut lash, a little lash of coconut, which is lovely. And then you get all of that roasted malt, fantastic Imperial Stout flavour, a little bit of rich kind of raisin, plum, fig and prune coming from the hops in the beer. You can feel the beer because it's 11.5% ABV. You can almost kind of feel the alcohol in the throat sliding down into the pit of the stomach. You can feel it kind of warming your insides as well as you're drinking the beer. That's a feeling rather than a flavour, of course, but it's still part of the experience. I think in drinking beer is you're experiencing that kind of that alcohol warming as it slides down into the pit of the stomach. It's really, really good beer. It really is incredible beer. And the story of this beer, the story of this brewery is, it was started by somebody else, and they were probably very successful before they got my mate involved. But back in 2009, 2010, I started my YouTube channel here in the UK. Peter the Master of Hoppets, who's now the head brewer of this brewery, started his beer reviewing channel in Denmark, and we were both doing relatively the same thing back then, kind of like hobgoblins and spitfires. I think back then Denmark was influenced by kind of British bottled ales, you know, your spitfires, your hobgoblins, and I remember coming across this guy's channel because back in the day, 2010, YouTube was only 4 years old. YouTube as a platform was only 4 years old. It was still a fledgling company. But what's remarkable about it is that within a month of each other, we've started our YouTube channels, one in Denmark, one in Wales, UK. And of course, you start to have a look at the YouTube landscape. Who else is reviewing beer? And I come across Peter, and we've been friends ever since. I've been to beer festivals in Denmark with him, Sweden with him. He's been here to my house. He came here to review some beer. We reviewed together the Imperial Stout, Goose Island Imperial Stout. Have a look at the video. But the point is, from 2009 being a beer reviewer, he loved beer that much. He did all his university course. He kind of worked his socks off, done really well. He then went and became a head brewer of a brewery. He's that passionate about beer. So here is the end product, really, of a fledgling YouTube channel that started in 2009 with a fledgling YouTube company that was only 3 or 4 years old at the time. This is the end result. Head brewer of a brewery. Amazing stuff. Kope Niu is an Imperial Stout that we created and brewed together with Why Not Brewing, a highly acclaimed nano brewery located just outside Aalborg, Denmark. We brewed this rich and decadent Imperial Stout and conditioned it on coconut cream and medium roasted Brazilian single estate grade A Arabica coffee. Kope Niu has an abundance of rich coffee and coconut aromas, silky smooth mouthfeel and notes of dark chocolate, licorice and dark fruits. Incredible. 11.5% ABV. I'm ready to rate it. Ready to rate this one. It's just superb. Looks good, smells good, tastes good. I like this beer enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.